bringing a dunk tank in. We're bringing one of those like inflatable like Velcro walls where you can jump and like stick to the wall, So we're just going all out. We're like, should we bring a band in? Should we do something cool? It's like, nah, fuck that. Let's just have fun with it. It's like a high
Oh man,
school.
this is gonna be so crazy. I can see a couple of pizzas getting overcooked.
Yeah,
We're looking, holy shit, what just happened? No, the pizza.
well, we were talking about competition. We're gonna do our best to clean off
Oh
that
my
wall
God.
afterwards.
I just want to see you in that dunk tank. What's going on, Pizza Fam? Look, I appreciate each one of you for listening to this show, listening to this episode. Before we get back to it, I wanted to tell you about my favorite product right now, Todd's Curry Sauce. I met these guys at the Florida Restaurant Show, Pizza Tomorrow Summit, and I'm telling you, ever since I tried that sauce, I have been putting it on everything in the shop. Chicken wings, pizza, you've seen the pizzas, chicken sandwich, salad dressing. Like, we've been putting Todd's Curry Sauce on everything, and I'm here to give you a special deal, special offer. Go to their website, toddscurrysauce.com, use code Pizza King, and get 10% off your next order. I promise you, you only need to try it one time. It's going to be the best curry sauce you ever tasted in your life. You're going to start putting it on all kinds of stuff in your shop, even at home. I got a bottle in the pantry here at the house. I got a bottle at the shop. Elliot, Todd, I need another bottle because I'm putting it everywhere. I'm putting it on everything. So go check it out. Use code Pizza King and get 10% off your next order. Peace. Let's get back to it. Welcome back to Pizza King Podcast. I got a very, very, very special guest today. My good friend, client, my boy, we've been talking for a while now. Johnny from the Pizza Collective in Reno. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the invite.
This is a special week for you. First time on the show, but you are celebrating a huge milestone for the store. Can you first tell us who you are, tell us about Pizza Collective, and then we'll talk about milestone as we get into the show.
Yeah. So my name's Johnny. I own the Pizza Collective in Reno, Nevada, and it's a real small, like 450 square foot shop. It's in a shared market, but we do 100% wood fire and 100% sourdough, like Neapolitan-ish style. And the milestone that you're talking about is 5 years. So this coming Friday, October 10th, will be 5 years of staying open and not burning the place down.
Hey, that's a hell of an accomplishment. Hey, I brought my drink, so cheers to you.
Yeah.
I still got a little left. Cheers to that. It's the first time I've ever taken a drink on the podcast.
Nice.
You and me shared that moment.
Give me the warning. I met with one of our beer reps before this, so there's I just gave you the heads up.
Dude, trust me, I already know how those go.
Yeah, you got to take the perks where you find them, right?
Bring some samples. Whatever you want to do. How did you get started with how did you come to open the Pizza Collective and be here for 5 years? That's not an easy task. The statistics already show us that most restaurants fail within the first 3 years and even more fail within the first 5 years. How did you start and how have you lasted this long?
So I started it's kind of fun. So growing up, my mom was a baker. So like the sourdough world is always in my periphery. It was always there. I've always just had a love for baking and that side of the shop. And I've always worked in kitchens. I've just kind of had that mindset ever since I was young, of just trying to do something on my own. And it's kind of funny, like at the time when I really, the shop just kind of fell into my lap, really. At the time I was working at this farm with the intent of having a little like 4 or 5 acre farm of my own, and just randomly became really good friends with this one guy that was also working there, and just mentioned as we were harvesting kale one day that he was looking to sell the pizza place. And at first it was just kind of like a pipe dream, like a fun, oh, that'd be cool. That'd be like a fun thing. But the more we talked about it over a couple months, the more we talked about it and really dove into it, and just told him, like, initially I didn't even think about buying it. It was more of like, oh, it'd be fun if someone went in there and did this or did that. And as I was talking about it, I think he was kind of getting stoked on the possibility of maybe transferring it over to somebody that was excited and just like loved the world,
You already had the ideas boiling before you even agreed to do it?
before I even had the concept of buying the place, it was like, oh, it'd be cool. Like this area, this part of downtown Reno would be cool if we had these type of specific events coming in. Or yeah, just fun like beer and pizza combos, or like just being able to like have a relationship with the because there's a lot of breweries just within like half a mile of us. Just kind of like spitballing, going back and forth with him, like just like ideas that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
And then yeah, a couple of months went by, and he just mentioned that like, hey man, if you want to make this happen, you seem pretty stoked on that possibility. We can work something out. And yeah, it just it honestly is just one of those things. I just right place, right time, just dumb luck. And I
Was that first time owning a business, first time owning a pizzeria?
yeah, so I've worked. I mean, I've worked every role in the kitchen, from like doing dishes, scraping plates, to managing. But this is my first business I've actually owned. So learned, just kind of hit the ground running with it, and learned the wrong way how not to do things for probably the first two to 3 years.
So tell me, what was the state of the business like when you bought it? What was it? How was it operating? What was it like? Why did he want to get rid of it?
I can't speak for sure, but I think he kind of fell more in love with just bread specific side of things. He ended up going on to open just a bakery, like no.
Okay, okay.
So he kind of dove down that rabbit hole, and just was looking to get rid of the pizza place. And yeah, so that's it again, just kind of going back to like right place, right time, and just the willingness to just say yes, and just go for it,
How how does it feel knowing you picked probably the hardest discipline in pizza to take on, the most scrutinized discipline in pizza to take on as your first time project?
I mean, luckily, I think at the time I didn't realize that. Luckily, I was too dumb to question it too much. Yeah, fortunately, I just got a hard head, and just willing to keep bashing the wall until work my way through it. But yeah, as I dove down the rabbit hole, I realized pretty quickly what I was getting myself into. But I feel like it also lended perfectly to like the type of pizza place I would want to own. Like I feel like for me, just because of my upbringing, it's always important to have the bread be the focal point. Like I feel like a lot of, not shading anybody else, but I feel like a lot of people use bread as just kind of like a funnel to shovel the meat and cheese down your gullet.
Yeah.
And I've always just loved, for me, like the difference between a good pizza and a great pizza is the one that like balances everything out, and the bread is always a focal point for sure.
Yeah.
So I
The
feel like,
star of the show.
yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
feel like mostly, yeah, mostly my lack of awareness is what made it work, and just the willingness to keep pushing forward. But I feel like it was also another one of those just lucky happenstance type of situations where it's like, because of my upbringing, I just fell in love with it more and more and more. It
So
was just,
thinking back, to 5 years ago, can you remember the first time you felt like maybe I'm not so lucky? What in the world did I get myself into? This is crazy. What was the first crisis like?
the first one, I just right off the top of my head, I can tell you it's our first health inspection. Back in the day, it was me and three guys, three dudes. I was friends with all of them. All had way more like pizza specific experience than me. And this one day, I think it was like a Thursday, so it was just supposed to be me and this other guy, Kelly. He ended up calling out, and I was like, it's no big deal. I can just wing it. Like, especially, I mean, because so when I bought the places, we opened October 10th, 2020. And those first few months, as you can imagine, weren't super busy for us, like
Yeah.
with the lockdown and all that. So my mindset was like, oh, it's no big deal. I can make it work. And we just, that day, we don't take reservations or anything, so people just kind of show up, and got like a birthday party of 10 rolled in. I was like, all right, well, I got my hands full. And then 2 3 minutes later, the health department rolled in. It's like, oh, we're here to do inspection. And I was like, "Fucking, of course you are. Of course you are." That for me is like when it just the shit definitely hit the fan, and I was just like, all right, well, just again, like going back to that mindset of just keep going for it and keep pushing. It's like, well, I'm gonna at least try, you know. If I get
Yeah.
shut down, I get shut down, but I'm gonna at least go for it.
I mean, worst case, you're just gonna learn something from a health inspector, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think those guys, they're scary, but they don't really want to shut you down. They just want to do their job and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
I feel like
crazy.
a lot of the I mean, now after a few years of dealing with them, I'll say a lot of them, like you're saying, none of them wants to shut you down. Like I feel like a lot of like the fear and anxiety is like almost in your own head a little bit.
But once you establish a relationship, you get to know them. You start going like, "Damn, did you even check anything? Like, come on, man, like do your job. Are you doing the same thing everywhere else? Because now I don't trust you."
Yeah, exactly. That first conversation, it was funny. I was like, he just moved to Reno from New Orleans, and I'm from New Orleans, so where I was born there anyway. And I feel like most of that conversation was just talking about New Orleans and the food down there and stuff.
Oh man, you just that's so lucky. What's the chance that another guy from New Orleans is in Reno, new to Reno, and he
Yeah,
walks into your place to inspect you? Oh man, you had the stars align for that one.
for sure.
Early on, how did you connect with customers? Did you find you still I'm sure you still have customers today that were there for those early days. How did you connect in the beginning?
Yeah, no, I've always yeah, like so we're coming up on 5 years, and there's definitely some of the regulars that have came in like before, if they have kids, like before they're still feeding them baby food when they come in, and now they're able to like order their own margarita or order their own like pepperoni, like it's just a
Yeah.
great feeling. And I feel like the how I've been able to connect to them is I've just always put a priority on, even when I bring like a new hire in, just make a point to just never let it feel like a transaction. You always make a point because at the end of the day, it's just a relationship. We got a small business. Right now it's me and four employees, and we're all like a family. And it makes it a lot more enjoyable. I feel like with food more than most other industries, the the guest comes up and sees it's all counter service. The shop is so if the guest comes up and sees like you remember their name, or even if you don't remember the name, but like, all right, this is the margarita guy, or
Yeah.
this is the Bianco guy. They're coming in ordering something, their order. It just translates so much. And if they see that you're enjoying the work and you're joking, like shooting the shit with the employees and friends, and you're having a good time, that translates into the food that you give them. And that's just one of like the most important things. I feel like it's great to have good food, but it's great to have customers feel like they're just like a part of something,
Yeah, I love that. Don't make it transactional. That's just great advice. And it sounds like the community plays a big role into just kind of how things work in that marketplace. What's what is the identity of the community in Reno?
Ooh, the identity of the community. It's kind of like in transition right now. I'll say that. There was a while it was known. I mean, even like some of the stories I think I've told you is like it's known for being just a party, like a destination just to kind of go and blow off some steam and hit
Yeah.
the casinos, hit the bars, and plenty of other adult entertainment. And I think it's transitioning away from that a little bit, where we're getting like good quality restaurants, people that like, and people like regulars, like customers, or people that live in the area that are willing and wanting to invest more, spend a little bit more money on a dinner and a date night, and I feel like it's just in the 5 years that I've owned the shop, I feel like there's been quite a bit of a difference in that direction.
Do you see more locals versus tourists, or is it kind of evenly split?
It's pretty so we use Square for our POS, and I get the breakdown, and it's almost always pretty close to 50-50. Our area is a little unique just because we're close to, so we're like in downtown Reno. Anybody that might be familiar with it, it's just right on Virginia. We're like 2 blocks away from Virginia Street, which is where a lot of the casinos, like the downtown casinos, are. where they always have like this coming weekend, they're having an Italian festival. There's always like, especially in the summer and fall time, there's always stuff going on to attract people. A lot of times it's people from out of town. So it kind of goes both ways. I feel like our regulars tend to not show up as much during those like big events, like we have like a wing
Like, let me
festival.
stay out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is cool. It balances it out, when if there's no events going on during the weekend, I feel like our regulars are more likely to come out and hang out and relax and enjoy themselves.
Yeah. You said earlier that those first couple of years were kind of rocky. When did you finally feel like you hit that turning point where, okay, this is gonna work out. We're gonna do what we gotta do to stay here.
I feel like I'm still hitting it. No, I mean, I'll say like our sales has every year has, I mean, knock on wood, has like consistently been like at least 20% increase every year. Um, and most of them, like I'd say, yeah, three of the years have been closer to like around 30%, which is great. So that helps. And the first, I think, really what it was, I guess to answer your question, it's been fairly recent because I spent majority of the 5 years, just kind of having that mindset of like being in the shop, having to do everything and, like making sure it was done exactly how I wanted to be done. And it
That's pretty
wasn't,
typical.
yeah, exactly. Just kind of like, it wasn't until pretty recently that I kind of got in that mindset of, this is just like through reading books, through talking to you for sure, and other podcasts as well, is just kind of going from that mindset of like working in the shop to working on the shop. And also, I've definitely had the mindset of, because I definitely not kind of I definitely got lucky with the shop, like being able to like have that opportunity fall in my lap. And I've had some great employees and great crew that have been with me since day one. And if I can offer that, a version of that to them, it would just be crazy not to. I'd have to be kind of an asshole not to at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So they just kind of go in that mindset of like working in the shop every single day, prepping all the onions and jalapenos, to giving other people the opportunity to step up and see if it's something that they want to like invest their time and see if it's something they want to do.
Absolutely. I think that's important. And, we don't have to go into a whole training thing, but I mean, those are conversations that we have all the time, like giving folks opportunities. No, I can see that it's made a huge difference for you.
For sure.
How has that in itself just, changed the culture around the shop?
I feel like it's definitely given. There's one employee in particular that I've really been working on, and like intentionally developing him to take on like a manager type role. And but also, I'm also with every employee that I have, I'm just kind of like, more than just clock in, do the job that we ask. It's show you the why and show you a little more of the back end stuff. Like, this is why I want you to do things this way, and this is why it creates. It's, it's kind of, it's funny because it's something that I wasn't expecting, but it creates way more. They get more stoked on their role. They come in and you can see it on them when they come in, and they're just like, all right, well, it's not just clock in and just catch up on dishes and just do this and do that. It's like, I'm not telling them to do that. I'm giving them the choice. Like, I want you to make the decision to see what's best, and giving them that responsibility has really surprised me in a lot of ways. Just in terms of like seeing a little bit more of their potential and their desire to want to try and be better. And I feel like it just reaffirms that, just the mindset that I've kind of had, is like, if you give someone the opportunity to rise, then chances are, if you've taken the time to vet the employees and hire good employees, like they're gonna rise.
Hell yeah, they will. Just like that bread you guys are making over there, that big crust. So
Yeah, that's
I
it.
saw one of the pizzas that you're featuring this week with the
Well, the
with
cheeseburger one.
with the 100 Island sauce and all that. It had me dying laughing. He's like, we just gonna call it 100 Island. But what kind of things do you have planned for the celebration?
We've got a few. It's good. We're kind of like embracing. We're just kind of having fun and getting goofy with it. We have so the market is kind of focused around a courtyard. There's a big outdoor courtyard that seats, I think like the maximum capacity is like 500 people. So
Holy
it's like,
smokes.
yeah, it's a big courtyard. And we're going, a couple of my really good friends, they converted like a 60s VW bus into a photo booth. So they're going to show up with their photo booth and just all the crazy props and get goofy with it. We're bringing a dunk tank in. We're bringing one of those like inflatable, like Velcro walls where you can jump and like stick to the wall, you know? So we're just going all out. We're like, should we bring a band in? Should we do something cool? It's like, nah, fuck that. Let's just have fun with it. It's like a high
Oh
school.
man, this is gonna be so crazy. I can see a couple of pizzas getting overcooked.
Yeah,
We're
you
looking
know,
like, holy shit, what just happened? Oh no, the pizza.
well, we were talking about competition, like how high can you jump with the pizza in your hand? So like, we're gonna do our best to clean off
Oh
that
my
the wall
God.
afterwards. So
I just want to see you in that dunk tank.
it's gonna. I called it out. It's like I'll be the first one to go in there. So
Just make sure somebody can actually hit the target.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
someone's gonna go. I'll have to find somebody there to go. Just tap it, make sure he gets dunked.
Bring in a shark. You're gonna hire a shark just to
Somebody's
dunk
got to
me.
do it. I can't be there, but somebody's got to do it. It sounds like that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Like as you think about beyond year 5, what's years 6 through 10 look like for Johnny and for Pizza Collect?
6 through 10, I would say it can go a couple ways. I feel I've always, and this is something you and I have talked about, I've always been a little reluctant on, like I've never had the desire to like monopolize the pizza game in Reno. I've never wanted to be like the biggest, most busy shop. I've always wanted to be able to like maintain the quality and maintain the relationships that we have with our customers. And that being said, with the approach that I've been taking with the shop and seeing the employees that I have grow and want to grow and learn more and do more and earn more,
Yeah,
there's definitely room for growth in terms of like possibly moving the shop into a standalone place as long as it checks all the boxes. I feel like I'm very reluctant to move into a 5,000 square foot space just for the sake of growth. Like
yeah,
I feel like it's got to check a lot of the boxes that would still maintain the vibe of Pizza Collective. And then also we have a catering truck that we just finished building earlier this summer, and I've been terrible at marketing it, but even without that, like it's kept us busy. We've been doing, this past Friday we did like a wedding rehearsal event, just out of like, they rented out this bar and we were hanging out in the back of the bar, and it was great. So I feel like with that, there's definitely opportunity for employees to learn more and just take on more responsibility. So it's maybe not two shops, maybe like a 1.5 or 1 and 1.5,
1 and 1.5. Tell us about the truck. Well, I know the truck is cool, and I also know that this was the first Friday without you and Tyler, right, in the shop.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I mean,
So how did that go?
it's a testament in itself. I mean, the shop's still there, so that's a good sign.
If that's saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, they didn't like hit us up once the whole time. It was like, it wasn't a slamming night, but it was like consistently steady. Numbers were good, and they said everything went smooth, and customers were happy. So that in itself was like a pretty solid testament.
That's awesome right there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I know you were worried. I was worried for you, like what in the world?
Yeah, no,
But
absolutely.
that's
Like
awesome.
it's one thing for me to be able to like take have now that I like restructured things a little bit, I'm able to have like 2 days off in a row. But I've always been able to rely on Tyler to hold it down. And he's the one that's been with me since day one. He's definitely like the anchor of the shop. And so yeah, being able to pull him away on a Friday night, have him and I do the catering event, and even before that, I gave him some specific guidelines, but for the most part, I like gave him the reins. I was like, I want you to train these guys the way that you would be excited to like come to work. Like just kind of intentionally not giving him too many rules and just kind of like barriers.
Yeah, let him get his personality into it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's a big part of it, is like, and like this Friday is such a good testament of how well he's doing. It's just kind of going back to that conversation of giving people the opportunity to rise, and seeing that, just the stoke that I get, like the excitement that I get to see him rise to the occasion, and in turn the other employees just hold down a Friday night without the two main dudes there, like that's great.
Dude, you're not even the main guy anymore. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate to be
I'm
the one to
just
break it to you.
mean bald guy that comes in
You're
every once in a while.
part timer, part
Yeah.
timer. Well, that's awesome. When did you decide to build a truck and do that? How did that project come about?
So we were doing, before this summer, we've been doing pop-ups for the past, I think, 3 years. And that's we have two Gosney ovens, two Gosney Arc XLs, and we would just load them in the back of my truck, drive with all the gear to whichever event we're going to. And the idea just kind of came, like, how dope would it be to not have to haul these ovens every single time? Like, what if I had a truck that already had a shelf built into it, and like a shell, a cover for everything, where I can just keep the ovens in the truck the whole time, and then just have to load up the ingredients, the dough, the tables, this and that. Um, and just found, and I intentionally wanted something that was unique and was going to stick out, and not just be like every other truck on the street. So I found this late 80s. They're called K trucks, like a Japanese mini truck. The brand is a Honda Acti. So, and it's crazy. It's the motor is under the truck bed. So there's like the front of the truck is like real. It's,
Like flat in the
when you're
front?
looking out the front window, you feel like you're going to hit every single car you're coming up. It still has a 6 foot bed, but I think the whole, like, everything altogether is like, I think it's 8 feet exactly. So the cab is just, I mean, I'm 6'1". I look like a circus clown, like getting in that car.
Like Mario
Looking,
Kart?
yeah, exactly. So fun to drive. Like, it's a right hand drive, so the stick's on the left side, and it's not going to win any speed races, but there's like, it's built. Apparently, they're built for like farm use. So there's a lot of torque. Like, first and second gear has a lot of torque, which is perfect for what we're using it for.
Yeah, you got some weight on the back of it. I mean, I know those aren't crazy heavy, but you got a little weight. You start putting ingredients and dough and all that stuff.
It adds up
It
for
works
sure.
out well. I know it's cool. I've seen the pictures of it. We'll have to I'll post up a picture or something
Yeah, yeah.
of the truck, and I've seen it on your page. But it does look really cool and it's unique. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think you're ever going to see a replica of that.
Yeah, so I kind of copied the idea. I've seen photos and videos of, I think there's somebody in the Bay that does it, but there's definitely spots out in Italy, and they turn those. I think the brand is Piaggio. It's like a little 3-wheel.
I've seen that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
the little
uh,
blue one, like I've seen on the internet a lot.
yeah, and a lot of them have like it's like a full wood fire oven in the back, and it's just, I don't know how they swing it like that weight with that little of a vehicle, but so yeah, I kind of copied a version of that. I took that and was like, well, how can I make something that can still, like, I couldn't find one of those trucks. I was actually looking for one of those trucks first, little 3-wheel things, but they're tough to get street legal. And even this K truck was, I had to jump through a lot of hoops to make it happen. But
Did you find it in the States? The truck?
yeah, I was actually luckily enough. So there's a city real close to us called Carson City. It's just like a half-hour drive. And it was like this old farmer guy. He just had it sitting in his truck, sitting in his property, and he went through. He also went through a bunch of hoops to get it street legal. I guess he said he had to fly. The person he bought it off of was in Oregon. He had to fly the dude from Oregon with all this paperwork, just
Jeez.
just to go to the DMV with this guy. And then I had to just do some work on the truck and the motor itself and the catalytic converter and stuff. But yeah, it was, again, going back to dumb luck. He just happened to be half hour away, and I was like looking on like Facebook Marketplace, and most of them were, there's like, apparently there's a pretty big community down in Texas, like in the Austin area, because the regulations are next to none down there for those types of vehicles. So there was a bunch of them out there, and I was planning and ready to load up a trailer and make the road trip, but this guy just happened to pop up. So
You have some pretty deep ties to that Austin area too, right? That's
Yeah,
where you
yeah, my
grew
folks.
up.
So we went from New Orleans to where my folks live in Georgetown, about 40 minutes north of Austin. I mean, I try and go back there at least once a year, go see family and go my favorite watering holes and favorite food. And there's some great pizza spots down there as well.
I know this isn't really something that's on the radar right now, but do you think if you did get to the point where you did pizza and we talked about possibly doing something in Austin, do you feel like would you do it the same exact way? Would you do the same style, the same concept, same menu and recipes, or would you do something? Is there something that's more suitable to the Austin market that doesn't necessarily work in Reno?
I don't know. I think I there I'll say like with the sticking to like the sourdough wood fire, there aren't a ton of options in Austin. There's a lot of my favorite spot out there is called Feral Pizza. Those guys are great, and they have like a food trailer, but they do like it's all sourdough, but they do like New York style, so like
Yeah.
18-inch pizzas. And I feel I don't know why, but there's a lot more of that, a lot more like New York slices to go, especially like depending on the parts of Austin. You go to like Dirty Six or like big pot spots where like people are walking around a bunch.
Yeah.
Slices are always going to be more.
I think you have to have slices in a situation like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. For me, I love the idea of if it was to grow like into like go somewhere to like a different location, like outside of Reno entirely. I love the idea of sticking with max 1,500 square feet and just keeping it to like a small crew, just keeping it simple. Like
Yeah.
I've had one of the things I feel like I've been able to make it work is just like sticking to like the motto of like keeping it simple and doing it well. And I
Yeah.
feel like just applying that to everything that you do has really been one of the only ways I've been able to make it work. Try when you I feel like it's when you try and overcomplicate things and like spread your roots too far out is when you get yourself in trouble.
Get blown over just like an oak
Yeah.
tree. I was gonna ask you what if you had any advice for someone who was, looking to make this their first year in the business, but it sounds like you're pretty much telling them to keep it simple and hope you get lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a big yeah. I hope you get lucky. Yeah, that helped me for sure. Keep it simple, and honestly, just don't be afraid to fuck up. I feel like that's a big one. I feel like it's being willing to. Um, I always joke. My employees always call me out on it too because I try and relate everything to sports. I just have that mindset and the mentality growing up playing sports. And one thing I was always taught is like imperfect action is always going to be better than waiting for like not doing anything, waiting for the perfect action.
Yeah.
So if there's something you want to go for, like definitely do the research to see if you really enjoy it, but also just don't be afraid to get after it. I feel like as long as you doing it for the right reasons, I feel like it's tough. I think there's a lot of people in maybe not just pizza, but restaurants in general. I feel like there's a lot of people that want to be rock stars, and if you're doing it to get likes and this and that, then I would encourage you to take a second to question it. But if you generally love going into the shop, doing a couple things like I love talking to customers, and I love like busy nights. It's hectic and stressful, but afterwards you joke about it and have fun. But I always say like my favorite times is probably going into the shop when it's just me. It's quiet. I get to be alone, just kind of be alone with my thoughts, and just make dough. And
Yeah.
you find that thing that you love doing when no one's looking, when no one's around. And it's not dependent on getting likes or getting this or getting that. If you've found that thing, then go for it. If I can get after it,
Yes,
I
sir.
always say be willing. If you found that thing and you want to do it,
Go do it.
you'd be doing. At the end of the day, you wouldn't be doing anything but like regretting it later on down the line, like not doing it.
Nice. I absolutely agree. 100%. Man, this was really good. Listen, how can how can listeners support support you, support Pizza Collective. I know we got some swag. You sent me some great things. I got
Stickers.
stickers, I got t-shirts over here.
Yeah.
You guys got some really cool swag going on. And, as a way to help celebrate you guys, we'll definitely do like some giveaway. I'll put a link up on the show description. We'll do some giveaways. I got a couple. I don't know if I'm giving away any shirts because I like all of them, but I'll definitely I'll give out some stickers and some decals to some folks that want to show some support. But how can they? You guys have any other way of showing support? You got like a support link, or I know we got your Instagram page. We can reach out to you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely hit us up on Instagram if any of your followers are in the Reno area. We're happy to give discounts. We're happy to like just show up and we'll have fun. I'm
No,
always
these our listeners, listen, listeners. Our listeners do not ask for discounts. We're all business owners, we're all pizza people. We are not asking for discounts. We are not getting free ranch. We don't want any of that. We're going to fully support 100%. If I find out any of you guys are going to get free pizza, I'm blocking you. Support this man. We're business owners.
I'll hang out and have a beer with you. If you're in the Reno area, I'll hang out and have a conversation. I can always talk pizza. Like you and I talk once a week, and it's something like I said. I got real lucky with everything, and I'm just grateful of the situation I'm in. The situation I happen to be in is like just can't. I there's like it's like a rabbit hole. You go down the rabbit hole and you just keep going like head first, and be willing to just keep your mind open and learn more. Be willing to learn more and expand, and it's been a blast.
Hell yeah, man. So I know a lot of people, travel to Reno as well. So favorite non-pizza spot in Reno.
Ooh, right down the street from us, there is a Chinese place called Quack's. Super, super good. There is a Japanese spot called Cowboy Izakaya. It's also really good. Um, those are the top two. A lot of times, if I'm going out, it's like in that vein. There's a couple really good like Thai restaurants as well. I don't do sushi too much, but people say that there is because we're so close to the bay, the casinos get trucks shipped in daily, so we have like some of the best sushi in town, or like and
Shit.
not in town, but like in the
In the
area.
area. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Von Bismarck. There's another spot called Von Bismarck. It's like a German restaurant. It's really really good. We
My wife
it's
would love that.
Yeah, it's great. It's kind of like a sneaky town for sure in terms of food. We have some really good options for you.
Hell yeah. All right. About you personally, early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings for sure.
Early mornings, even in a party town like Reno?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just moved. It's funny. I used to live literally across the street from the restaurant, from the pizza place,
Hmm.
and it was dope because I could just walk to work, and like commute was you couldn't beat that. But it was just so close to the bars, so close to this and that,
There's
and
always something going on.
always loud and always yeah. And I've kind of always been a morning person for the most part. Especially as I've gotten older, and especially since I've had the restaurant. Like I always joke that I have like had the combination of the baker's schedule, which is bright and early, and then also like the restaurant schedule, which is open late at night. So
Nights and
uh,
weekends. Goodness.
I'm finally getting dialed in to where it's pretty much just mornings now for me, which is great.
Worst pizza order ever. Like so bad you didn't even want to make it.
Worst pizza order. So we make our own mac sauce in house. We start with a roux, and it's great. We have people that come to our shop just for our mac and cheese, or even just our wings. We do the same with our wing sauce. We had someone come in, the worst combo, and it's just like a classic bechamel. You start with the roux, then you throw in just like some cheese and milk. We had somebody come in, ask for that as a base. They wanted all of our cheeses, they wanted all of our meats, and they wanted pineapple, and they wanted olives. We asked them a couple of times, like, "You sure you want this? Are you really sure? Like, we'll do
Like
it."
I'm sure folks are pretty lit up sometimes coming in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's Yeah, especially weekends. Especially once the sun goes down, it's a safe bet that most people are not not sober. But we, kind of grilled them a little bit, and they're like, no, no, this is what I want. This is going to be great. I love your mac sauce, and I want some pizza. And they had it. They ate the whole thing, and they were stoked on it. And I never, I never made another one. I never had any desire to give it a try. So in my mind, that's the worst. But whoever it was, they seemed pretty happy with it.
Oh my goodness. I'll have to tell you no, like, no, I'll put the sauce on the side. I'll let you do that to your own pizza, bro.
Yeah,
You gotta
yourself.
gotta do it to yourself. I can't do it for you. All right,
Yeah,
last one. One book that changed your mindset.
one book. Wow.
And I know I only picked on you because I know you're a reader and I know you
Yeah,
you,
for
you got a
sure.
collection.
I mean, fuck, there's some tough I mean, honestly, like, a lot of them aren't even like business related. I feel like at the time I read it, there's been a couple books that I like, it's almost like you turn a certain age and, like, all right, 26 to 27 was a big jump for me. Like, and I feel like it's the same with certain books. When I read them, I feel like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, that was a big one for me. And it's just like I guess the simple like explanation is like finding your why. That's like, doesn't matter what you go through. I think the quote, I'm probably going to butcher the quote, is like men, or like, people can endure anything as long as they have their why. And just that mindset is like, why am I willing to put myself through this shitty situation? And it's like, because bigger picture is going to lead to that situation. So I think just kind of like that approach is just being able to know your why goes a long way.
Nice, nice. Johnny, this was really good, bro. I appreciate you coming in, telling your story, introducing us to the Pizza Collective, and just letting us help share in the celebration with you guys. And, let me be the first to tell you happy anniversary.
Thank you very
Get
much.
this out for you, and hopefully we get some listeners that are in the area and can come by and say, hey, look, we want to be a part of the celebration
Yeah,
too.
yeah. If anybody's in Reno this Friday, it's from mainly from 1 to 4. We'll be open regular hours, but all like the main events, like the dunk tank and all that, are all going to be 1 to 4. Bring your swim trunks. We'll have fun.
Nice, nice. Go dunk him in the tank.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, brother. Hey, stay right there for a second.
All right, you got it.